We are rolling, and we're back with Elias.
Yo, what up? Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
So I want to ask you something.
Yep.
I know over the past few months, you've been kind of gearing up and buffing up this video production, media, brand, company. I guess what I'm getting at is, where do you see yourself a year from now?
Ideally,
Yeah. Like, where do you see yourself?
at least 50 to 100 guests in. Seeing where that goes. I mean, just opening it up wider and wider.
How do you grow a podcast brand?
Platforming.
So you mean like Spotify, YouTube,
No.
TikTok, Reels? What does that mean?
A guest. So like someone that, let's just take Joe Rogan, for example, right? Or, I mean, anybody. It used to be the news, but they'll do a story on somebody. But now they don't do that. You're on a podcast.
Right.
So you're like, you go on Joe Rogan, you have 200,000 followers. In a couple of months, you have 2 million followers.
So you're saying it's all about having guests that have their own platforms and followings, and it's all about having guests that have their own platforms and following. And once the content comes out, over time, people follow the podcast brand and they get familiar with the brand. And you're a content peddler, essentially. I mean, that's what it is. Let's be real. Let's be real.
But I think that
You're a content hustler.
You and I are on two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's why I call our segment Content Hustlas.
Yeah, that's true.
So, right. So, I mean, I analyzed that hustle on that. And so you're asking me how someone grows. The fastest way, I would think, is platforming. Like, it's like, even if you already have your website set up, your social media set up, you post regularly. I as far as I know, I mean, I'm not, anyone right now, but I'm saying that the best way that I've ever seen anyone that's gone from like, I don't know anything about them, and then I see him on Joe Rogan or another podcast, another comedian's podcast, Are You Garbage, Fighter and the Kid, anything like that. It's like they just blow up.
Yeah.
Like if you give it a year trajectory. So you say you see yourself in a year. I want to like reverse engineer platforming. So I want to have like 100 to 200 guests that I've written down, right? At number 200, 150, or 100. Right now it's at 100 because I only have 10 or more episodes, right? I would say that I have like the most famous person at 100 and then going back like, and then the easiest person going, inward.
Right.
So I'm looking at like a trajectory. But that's just, I mean, that's how you circulate. I mean, it's better for business.
Yeah.
It's better for everybody.
Yeah,
the more
sure.
podcasts I watch of the people I like or the people that I, because it's just like diversifying their opinions, their ideas.
Yeah.
And so like, for example, you, right? The more podcasts you're on, the more questions you're asked, the more diversity of questions you're asked,
Right.
the more you circulate around.
That's
right?
true, yeah.
On the reverse side, the more guests they have on, the more diversity of people they have on. Do you see what I'm
I see what
saying?
you're saying,
It's
yeah.
like a legitimate thing,
It is a
man. It's not
legitimate
some
thing.
bullshit thing. I mean, like, I want to do movies. You always got to be like, you got to play this part, or we got to get you to do this, and we got to fake this. We got to put angles here and that. But that's not what this is.
Do you see yourself doing movies down the road in your future? Maybe next
That is
5
what I
years?
wanted to do originally.
Oh, right.
That's why I'm doing this.
Is
This is easier
a
to do.
lead in to
Yes,
movies? Okay.
but this is easier to do. It's so much harder to fund your own short films.
Is
I want
it?
to do shootouts.
Is it?
Yeah.
You
To
have a
buy
camera.
blood, to pay
you know
people.
some people.
Yeah,
Make
but
it
it's
short. Make it short.
But I
Just
mean,
put
like,
it out there and see
to
what
do
happens.
nice stuff, you have to either have the programs or you have to know how
You
to
have
use
Final
them.
Cut. I know you know how to edit. I saw your
Yeah.
reel you shared with me
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah,
It was good.
but I mean, like, it's just getting more and more competitive with things the more I see it.
Get in the game.
So what I'm saying is, well, this is me getting in the game.
All right. Fair enough.
I'm just saying it's easier to do this at this point. I'm sorry. So what is it called?
I'm just glad you're getting in the game and one step closer to your fucking dreams, because I see so many people who have dreams and ambitions and all they do is talk about it, but they never do anything. And I'm like, you got to get started somewhere. And if it's a podcast or like, if you want to be a writer, but you're scared to do it, but you go to like an open mic poetry thing, bro, start there. Right. Just do something.
Right.
Baby steps. And so many people just like well, I'm scared that like nobody will show. Or that, like, who cares? Get rid of that fear. Just do it.
True.
Oh,
Path
that's
of
just
least
me.
resistance is what I was trying to say. Path of
What
least
does that
resistance.
mean?
Well, it means that it was easier to do a podcast than it was to save up $10,000 and convince 10 of my friends to do a 10-minute movie for $10,000. It
Fair.
was easier to buy a bunch of, little things, collaborate with people over a couple of years, and then sit here. And then finally one day when I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, I had a technician set it up. I sat here for 2 or 3 hours with him and said, you know what? You have a free round on renting this room out because they pay me to rent this out to like set everything up for me. Just started using my fucking brain.
Gotta love it.
Right? I mean,
Use your fucking brain.
it's got to be more content
Right.
and less bullshit.
More content, less bullshit. That's a good like little slogan. That's good. Right
content
there.
hustlers.
That's real good.
So, like, what have you been up to? You've been doing this festival thing, like,
yeah, I've been working festivals. Trying to. Man, I just took an L the other day. I tried to pitch the JW Marriott down here in Austin.
Okay, I saw
and,
that.
Like they told me no.
pitches in what? Like, what does that mean? Hold on.
I was trying to get this distributed at their bar, the restaurant, and like their little gift shop. And they're like, the price point's too high. It's something I'm used to. We do have a premium product. It is fresh. Like, yeah,
Local.
the whole works. Yeah. And like, they told me no. And so I'm like, you know what? I really wanted it. I thought it was going to happen, but it didn't. It's okay. You take the L, you keep it moving.
That's pretty ballsy.
What else can you do? Sit there and cry about it? Maybe for a minute, but get up and keep it moving.
So, okay, let's go back a little bit. So you're telling me that you're pitching to a...
So I'm trying to grow like a wholesale line and also doing festivals. Festivals are a great way for revenue, obviously, and also like promoting the brand. It's a great content grab. They're just like good overall if it goes well. They're also extremely high risk.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
okay.
very high risk.
Yeah, but they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
Something-
Especially if you're into the type of music that is being played. We did two festivals in Vegas back to back. It was Lovers and Friends and The Sick New World. They were both nostalgic acts from hip hop of like 90s and 2000, and then one was rock. So think like System of a Down, Korn, POD, Evanescence.
You saw these people?
Yeah, at a punk rock stage. Like, yeah, I was happy to be there. And then the hip hop act was like Missy Elliott, Usher.
Wow.
Shit
That
like
literally was like the music we grew up to.
100%. This is like a gem for like millennials. Them Gen Z fucks probably don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah,
that's...
yeah, it was cool.
Do you remember the Now CDs?
Oh, God,
Now 14, now
15,
10.
16, 30. It never fucking ended.
Who were the two guys? And the whole world loves you when you don't get down. Who is that? Andre 3000, the other guy.
Oh, yeah,
What was that?
Outkast.
Outkast.
Oh, they're great.
Remember getting a Now CD? Put that on there.
Now is cool.
Yeah. Well, it's not now anymore. It was then.
Is that still around? Probably not, right?
In person, dude.
Damn.
Okay, let's get on. Dude, Now CDs, huh? Let's check this out. I got my glasses on.
They used to promote that shit on
Now
TV
57.
on like Nickelodeon
No.
and shit.
What is it now? CDs. Yep. So, where we at? Let's take a look at this. So if you go.
Oh, that's what I call music.
No.
Damn.
So what do we got?
Yo, that's wild.
Now 114.
No way. No way. No way. Does that say April 2023?
You're damn right. It just came out a month ago.
It's got to be money laundering. It's got to be money laundering.
Click on it.
That is fucking funny, yo. That is fucking hilarious.
It's now 114.
Who buys that shit?
I don't know.
Who buys that
Where
shit?
can you buy it?
Maybe Target. Actually, where can't you even buy CDs anymore? Like Best Buy doesn't sell them. It's only Target. I don't even know that. I don't even know that because I go there a lot.
CDs.
Yeah, it's Target. It's
I don't go to either one of those places.
I don't even think Walmart has CDs anymore.
Walmart?
I know they have DVDs.
Well, yeah. I still need the disc.
God, CDs are so ancient.
Yeah, but like I went all the way back around when I first moved here in 10 years ago. We still bought records. Still buy records. And you get the digital version with the record.
I almost feel like record vinyls are like more popular than like they probably sell.
They
more than
are.
CDs,
I'm saying that like CDs have been on their way out for a long time.
Yeah, you're right.
I'd be surprised
Like
if they
the
were
past
still.
10 years they've been out.
I'm surprised anybody does it. I've seen people that do tapes before they'll do.
Tapes are a thing. Is that like a hipster thing?
That's good.
That's funny.
Tapes.
That's hilarious.
Wow. So, how'd you get into this festival thing?
How? What do you mean?
Well, like, did you just like look it up? Application.
BUJE has like investor in the business, and that person is in the festival business. So that's how we got our foot in the door. Remember Mala Luna?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and so over time, the resume just kind of built, and then it just kind of like built up from one festival to another, and then we expand outside of his network, and it just goes on. Yeah, I got invited to one in August I think it's called Tidal Wave. It's like a country festival in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I think that might be a little too far out of my jurisdiction. Like, I don't think it'd be profitable if I go that far because I think it's a small thing. It's like 25 to 30,000 people, and my threshold really needs to be 30,000 people to make this whole shit work. And because they take a lot, they take like 35%, and so
They do percentage, so there isn't like a flat fee for any of these
the
festivals.
only people who do a flat fee is Rolling Loud. Most people take a percentage.
What's the flat fee?
$7,000
For 2 weekends?
for 3 days, 1 weekend.
150,000 people?
It's like 120.
Do people get trampled over like in that last festival you went to?
So I went to Rolling Loud in 2019 just as a fan to visit.
Yeah.
I went on a first date to Rolling Loud with a girl who, like, it's a long story. But we almost got trampled, yeah. We were just sitting in the field. I think Cardi B was about to play, and then we just saw like a mass crowd of people running towards us. And what do you do in that situation? You get up and you fucking run because you're about to get trampled. And so we got up and ran. It was like a fake shooting that like happened or something. No. It wasn't a fake shooting. It was a fight breaking out and fireworks are going off at the same time. And so someone yelled like gun and fireworks, like, you know, and then it just
Get down, drive by.
It was fucking wild. But yeah.
Here, to not getting shot in a drive-by or any kind of explosive or mass shooting at a festival.
Yeah, that moment was kind of scary because, like, you don't know what the fuck is going on. And shit. And there are all these, like, fake rumors going. Twitter's going wild. Everything. But,
And that was, you went.
that was 2019. That was a while back.
Wow.
That was before I even did, like, Rolling Loud shit. Like, that was a long time ago.
That was in 2019? What month?
July. It's hot as balls.
In.
Miami.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They were sitting there shutting down the country.
Yeah.
No, what, 2019, not
19.
20. Not
Yeah,
19.
not 20. Nothing happened in 20.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 19.
And then you also went to Art Basel?
Yeah, we did a small pop-up in conjunction with Art Basel in 2021.
How was that?
I didn't make profit there. We broke even, but it was a really good learning curve. It was a learning curve because, no, I'm sorry, not a curve. It was more of like, an experience in what the people of Miami have to offer if we ever decide to move into that market. So what I mean by that is like the Art Basel crowd is very bougie, to say the least. Never been handed so many American Express cards in my life. They just throwing them at you. And I think one of the great things is a lot of times festival concert scenes can have very like unhealthy foods. And we were doing fresh squeezed juices and shots and the fresh lemonades, and they love that.
Right.
And they're like, you know, we want this back. You know, we're all about that. And what you really learn is there are a lot of really health conscious people in that area who have a high amount of disposable income, and they just throw it at you. And so I'm here to serve something good for you. And then in that particular moment, it wasn't profitable, but in future ones, it was.
Right.
And so then you just kind of learn and grow from there. Yeah.
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 That
Art
seems-
Basel is cool. It's one of my favorite events. It's very similar to like South by in a sense of like there's one big corporate convention, but it's supported by a ton of like local acts and shit like that.
Yes.
And every gallery, every venue is having their own little spin, kind of like how South by is.
Yeah.
And so that's what Art Basel is. It's music, it's art, it's on the beach. It's really cool.
Sounds so awesome.
No, it's great. I love it.
Sounds like one step
like-
ahead of
I've
friend
been
here.
like 2 years in a row. I'm going this year too. So
And what is it?
it's the first weekend in December.
December.
Which is like the best time to be in Miami because like it's not super hot. Like the weather's just like pinpoint. It's not super humid. It's wonderful.
I'd want it to be hot, but I mean, yeah.
Really great.
Like, is it cold at all?
Is it cold? Not at all. But it's not fucking 90. It's like mid 80s. Maybe a little
Oh,
less.
that sounds the
It's good.
best.
It's good. It's good. It's good. But yeah, that one's good. What else? Lost my thought.
Rolling Loud.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
yeah.
Art
That's in
Basel.
July. That's in July. Rolling
Okay.
Loud has like numerous cities. It's actually a franchise, and they sell it out to promoters in different countries and whatnot or
Okay.
areas. And so you can like buy into the Rolling Loud franchise and shit. And so we only do the Miami one.
Okay.
Might do the LA one if the opportunity arises. Their concessionaire venue people, I
Right.
just established a relationship. It's the same people who did the one we just went to in Vegas. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, maybe we'll see what happens. They're not too great, but shouldn't say that. But yeah. What about you? What's been going on?
Shit, dude. I'm trying to scale this up. Trying to get it going.
No, I love what you have. This is fucking great. It really is.
It's not just me, you know. I mean, I would say it's actually like I'm the smallest part of it. I mean, like I put down the money in the room, but I mean, like all the control boards you see over there, and then just basically like rigging up all the lights. We got a guy that comes in here and does it. He cares a lot about it. It's a big part of it, you know.
Yeah.
Just putting all this stuff together and then having the space. I dreamed about it for years. Essentially, I had inherited over time, you know. It's like
That's
I
true.
just got one room and the other. And I was like, well, am I going to move out of here? Am I going to live in an apartment? I've never lived in an apartment.
You've been here for a minute.
So I've been here for 6.5 years.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Has the rent gone up drastically, or the landlord's really good?
Oh, they're
Fuck
cool.
outta here.
They actually told me that I was probably one of the best tenants that they had had.
Right.
I report everything on time. Like if the AC breaks or
Yeah.
there's a water leak or something, they're like, oh my God, you saved us thousands of dollars. Maybe they said that once or twice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying maybe they said that twice. I know they definitely said it once. He was like, I mean,
Yeah.
I think when he said that, he was like, you know, you've done this more than once. You're one of our best tenants. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah.
You're speaking of it in terms of like it's a bigger. Is this actually a company thing, or is it like one dude who has like a house or two?
It's so funny. I'll actually tell you the story in a nutshell. So the guy that is my landlord, you know, is like, I mean, he owns several properties. You know what I mean?
So it's one dude who owns like 5 homes.
Probably
going,
like
keep going,
30,
keep going.
40 homes.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And then he lives in South America. Like sometimes when I call him up, when I actually call him up, I've only met him once in all these years. And I met him like let's see. It was in April of 2016, or March.
Okay.
So if that was March of 2016, I guess
That's a while back.
So it's 7 years
Yeah.
this March or April.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I only met him once. I've talked to him over the phone several times. I know the maintenance man. He's come by several times, but I've been like, oh shit, the AC is leaking. It flooded the floor, or it did this, or the ceiling's broken, or the toilet's cracked, or the AC's fucked.
Yeah.
The refrigerator's broken. Replaced all that. And I'm like, you know what? Like, we're not going to raise the rent. We're not going to be mad, about this. They just let us get away with things over time. Now, not bad things. I mean, now we're totally straight with them. But there was a number of years we had a little bit of back owed rent, a couple of other things. And I mean, when it came down to like, well, we could kick you out or you can start paying this new rent. And as long as you just pay on time for the rest of your days, you're actually one of our best tenants. It's like, oh, okay. By the way, that last $1,000 or $1,500 I never even mentioned to add it up. It wasn't me that owed it.
Yeah.
I won't say who, but it was an unnamed roommate who I was living with who was fucking us off and, sinking the ship. And then by the time I went to the person, they were like, you're actually all right.
So, hypothetical, delusional question right now. If you built a tiny house in your backyard, and you rent that shit out on Airbnb, and you didn't tell your landlord, would he be pissed / would he allow it?
It's hard. I had to drill a hole in the gate, or we could have they could go out to the street. I don't know. That's a good idea, Elias. Never even thought about that.
You haven't thought about that?
I mean, not just out to the street, but yeah, I mean,
I saw that shed you had back there, and I'm like, it looked like a tiny house, and I'm like, bro, I bet you can make some good extra side cash if you just put a tiny house back there.
That's
put it for $85 a night.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying, you'd have at least 5 or 6 bookings a month. Actually, like $500 right there.
That's so good. Oh, I know.
But is your landlord cool with it?
Well.
But if he's in South America, who the fuck is gonna know?
Your Honor, we're gonna use podcast number 11 from Ear Beatings. Elias, here we go. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't ever think it'd be used.
I used to live at these little urban lofts in San Antonio called 1221 back in a long time ago, and I was gone on the weekends and shit, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this on Airbnb, knowing it's not allowed, but whatever. It's a slap on the wrist if you get caught, right? So I do my whole little picture thing. I make it look good, the whole bullshit. Over the course of this is 2018, I want to say. Over the course of 48 hours, I probably got 8 or 9 Airbnb bookings spread out over the next 2 months. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this shit is taking off. It's about to cover the whole rent. Cash flow king. They shut me down so fucking fast. I got caught 2 days later. I guess they checked. They I don't know. They it was a pretty big apartment realty thing.
Who found out?
The management. And I got a letter. I got an
apartment. Yeah.
I got a letter on my door, and they took a screenshot of my listing, and they were like, "You have to take this down immediately, or we're gonna press blah blah blah." And I mean, I took it down, but shit, they caught me red-handed. It was just so fast. All the shit happened in 72 hours. They probably knew their place was in high demand, and that's what happened. But it was wild.
Damn. It's not a bad idea. Yeah. And this would be the trail leading right back up to me. It's not a bad idea. Shit. So let's go back, talking about getting these beverages going, bottling this. I may have asked you about this before. I don't know if we can go back on previous episodes, but I would say that I've seen that you've expanded it.
What do you mean?
Well, you told me it was lemonade. I don't even see lemonade.
Well, this is strawberry lemonade, and this is a drinker called Night Flow.
And what's up with that?
It's an activated charcoal blend. It also has lime, watermelon, cucumber, a little bit of pure cane. It's really good. It's really light. It's very refreshing.
Help you sleep, or is this what we're gonna do before we go to the club, or what?
Everyone says that. No.
You're gonna have to get off that. Yeah, see, if
is
everyone says
night,
that,
right?
you fucked it up. You know.
No, so we were talking about Art Basel earlier.
Okay.
I created this drink at Art Basel, and it was a means to. I was catering to the demographic. You know, I had an idea it was going to be a health conscious crowd, and I was like, you know what? Let me put something that could potentially like, help you drink a little bit more. You know, people are gonna be drinking alcohol. You know, you're already consuming a lot of sugar. This is a low sugar drink. The activated charcoal helps.
Let's try it. Let's do it. Let's put it to the test.
Oh,
Because it looks like it has.
Damn, that's good.
It looks like it has lavender in it. I know it doesn't. Ooh.
I love it. If you don't like sugary drinks, it's.
What do you mean? That looks like Kool-Aid, dog. Come on. This has got electrolytes in it. And that'll activate. So why is it purple and blue? It just makes me think that there's going to be like berries in it.
It's black. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, because it's got activated charcoal in it.
Is it the light?
Tastes really good.
Yeah. Thank you. It's one of my favorite drinks. You know I sell lemonade, but I actually don't like super sugary drinks.
Lemonade gets me heartburn and a headache. I try it every time, and you have some of the best lemonade I've ever tasted.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, you
Cheers
really
to you.
do, man.
You know, that's just like an ode to like what I believe. Fresh squeeze, just fresh products. When you don't make a fresh squeeze product and it's like a powder formula or like a syrup, it just tastes off. And for the fact that I believe in a fresh squeeze product with real fruits, it's going to give you that flavor palette and that just puts you a cut above. And that's what's kind of kept me in business like all these years. Because people come back and they're like, that's the best lemonade I've ever had.
It is.
I'm like, yeah, because you haven't experienced anything else because nobody else is in the game. But, yeah, you were saying,
Well,
yeah,
it's like coming up with these
expanding out of lemonades, more juices, and I'm working on an ashwagandha lemonade, also working on a blue spirulina. I haven't bottled it yet, but we've been doing it at festivals and farmers markets, testing it, and it's been super fucking popular. Holy smokes!
That's how I got into kombucha.
What?
It's how I got into kombucha. It was like GT Dave's. It was like over 10 years ago. Or Synergy. The best I can remember having besides Buddha's Brew was they had a kind with chia seed in it. Right?
Yeah.
They put it in the kombucha, and it's like the membrane went around it. So, like, you would drink it, and there would be, like, liquid, right? Like kombucha, but then you'd, like, sounds kind of gross, but you'd suck this, like, it's like pudding Jell-O with, like, seeds in it, which is, like, the kombucha growing around the seeds.
Right.
Right? Wasn't very strong. Wasn't really as good as Buddha's Brew. Shout out to Buddha's Brew. Awaken your energy. So... But the texture, the taste, the way it made me feel, chia seeds helped a lot. It's how I feel with the way you're doing with the activated charcoal. And there was another one that you did. The melatonin shots are pretty good, but I haven't like trial and errored them because like that's something you really need to take and go to sleep. Like, but then also like I've tried kava. You ever tried kava? Okay. Well, kava is something that's like totally legal. And you can sit down and drink it. They have kava bars where you go and drink it, and it chills you out like melatonin. But it's like melatonin meets tobacco meets weed. But you can still leave at leave the bar and drive. Which to me, there should be 100 different types of places where you can smoke weed, tobacco, and all those places where it's like, okay, you like a bar, leave on your own risk. Don't be driving drunk, but come in here and try different things out and sit down and feel it out. I mean, like a hookah bar, you've been to one. Well, they have kava bars. They're the same way. Well, and like, I mean, I've never been, but I've heard about them in Afghanistan where they have like hash bars, or in India where you go and you sit down and you smoke hash, or they call them opium dens in other places of the world. Like they're just, you know, but in this part of the world, they don't really recognize the more psychedelic stuff. So there's stuff like kava or coffee bars, you know, and things like that. But it's all just this kind of chill vibe.
Yeah.
You know, like not everything's meant to go out and go on the go. Like the night flow, you know, like you're starting to see a different thing. Like, I mean, I did that circuit for a number of years where we did kombucha at certain EDM festivals here in town.
Wait,
like Euphoria.
You sold kombucha at EDM festivals?
Euphoria.
Y'all were set up there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Badass. I didn't know that.
But like people would be come by in the middle of the night and they're out, you know. You know, I need something in the electrolytes. I need something, please. My girlfriend's dying.
We
My
do
girlfriend's
EDM
fucking.
events.
What?
When we do EDM events, I have a drink. Essentially, it's fresh squeezed orange juice and electrolytes, but I call it Molly's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that just connects to the EDM crowd. And like, yo, that shit sells like hotcakes.
Yes. People, because they're dying. Dude, I've seen people come up and they're like, can I have water? And I'm like pouring them my water. I'm like, oh my God. Like, please. Like, I don't want to see you fucking die.
Have you ever been a EDM? What's the one that just happened? Yeah, EDC. Have you ever been to EDC? Oh, is it in Vegas?
I mean, the last couple of years have been devoted to burning. So I haven't really.
Yeah, that's like its own fucking thing. Yeah.
And like burning is like, again, if you're not going to go to something where they have all this available and you're going to take all this with you, you know what I mean? Like the way I do it is like you can go and you can buy this at EDC and wear your costumes, or you can go this and watch everything get rained on and shit on and dirted on. And then, it's like there's no money, there's no anything. Like you're literally, but then you're walking by a place and they're like chicken and waffles, mimosas all day. Like, cause everything's a party everywhere. Like, so again, I mean, you spend a lot more money at Burning Man or to get there. At the same time, you're watching like Daft Punk just be like, what up? Like there's always like a running gag at every burn that Daft Punk is going to play, and they throw out tickets and everything, and like they like trick you to go different places. I mean, it's kind of fucked up. I don't like it. I don't ever fall for it, but they're like, no, for real. Daft Punk played last year. I'm like, I don't like, fuck you. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to know about that. Yeah. If they did, like, you're fucking with me.
Yeah.
They wear masks anyway, so it's like MF Doom.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. You've coming up with some new formulas, the strawberry lemonade.
New formulas.
So how do you scale this up? Come up with something.
How do you scale it? You just kind of grow it brick by brick. You can grow it brick, but you're like, you got to kind of create like your own hurricane, and you start with local places and you grow it out. And then if you get into enough local places and start a buzz, the bigger people call you, and then you go up the pipeline. Yeah, that's how it works.
So if you can give me like 2 or 3 of your like biggest events that you've been through that's like grown in next. So like you're telling me about going to Rolling Loud. That's a big event.
It's pretty big. It is the biggest hip hop festival in North America.
So how do we go like back?
It's not the biggest festival, but the biggest hip hop festival.
Yeah, dude, that's more people than go to a burn. When I go to Burning Man, it's 80,000 people. You went to Rolling Loud. That's got to be.
It's like 100, 120, right around there.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So, like I said, going back, like, how do you think that you started to get into that, or how do you?
What do you mean?
Well, what was like the first event or second event leading into that? Did you just meet somebody? Did you just apply for it?
So our BUJE has a business investor, and that person, Sasha Gretafield, he's a festival promoter, concert promoter. He's like someone in the music business, and he was looking for a beverage business to invest in, and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and I spoke up, and we connected, And so the relationship was built off of us selling our beverages at all of his festivals. And it just kind of grew from there. And since he's somebody in the music business, he introduced me to other people, AKA he plugged us with the Rolling Loud guys. And so that's how that door opened. Because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be fucking in there. Right. And that's just an ode to, like, it's not that grades you make, it's a hand you shake. You just got to get out there and network and start fucking meeting people. Okay. And it takes time. It takes time to marinate those relationships. It takes time to prove to people what you can do. You have to have a good product. You got to be a good person, and you got to show the fuck up. There was, I was here on Monday, and I met with a pretty big rapper, up-and-coming rapper, and we might be, this particular person has his own, he has a orange juice brand.
Okay.
He has a whole health-conscious, positive look, and he integrates oranges into that orange juice. But this particular rapper doesn't have his own orange juice. He doesn't have his own juice line. And we got plugged with him, and I met him, and I met his management team, and there is a good chance we might be manufacturing his first juice line.
Okay.
So that could be huge. And that could really propel us into the scene further, and who knows where it will go. So, good things might be coming.
And your authenticity supports that.
100%.
And then you following into this, I mean, again, some of the best lemonade I've ever tasted.
That's coming from, didn't you say you don't even like lemonade?
So, hold on.
Like, that says a lot for someone who doesn't like lemonade.
Let me restate that. The best lemonade I've had.
Oh, shit. Thank you.
It all gives me heartburn. But like yours, like I like literally, like I'd go over there and be like, hey, you only have some more of that. Like, I'll taste a little more. Well, it's just good. It's fresh. It's a real thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And then all your shots, I mean, you're following a path of the real thing. I mean, everything I taste, I couldn't believe that. The purple throws me off where I'm like, is that going to have lavender in it? But then when I was drying, I'm like, oh my God, that's like Kool-Aid. And then I'm like, oh, maybe it has grape in it. But either way, I mean, it's really good.
Thanks.
And so is the lemonades, and then the shots you made, and then the different, like I was telling you, even when I took the melatonin shots, brought them home, and then I was like, well, I know that's got melatonin, so I'm going to drink them before bed. It's like, so.
Thanks.
No, man, you're really following it, and I like the brand.
Thank you.
Like it.
Thanks.
I like your whole thing. I can't say there's anything wrong with it.
I'm trying.
There's no buts.
It's hard.
There's no ands. It's
hard.
just like, it's great.
It's a grind, but shit make you lose your mind sometimes, but fuck, I'm so here. So.
It's like, I want to buy some more of that. You know what I mean? How do I like actually be surrounded by constant citrus and the women, you know what I mean, and the heels?
There's a lot of different plays, I try to keep it fully diverse.
I think it's great, man. I mean, I always wanted to sell beverages when I got into the beverage selling business, doing the kombucha stuff. My idea was to like gravitate off the farmers markets and work into more of like a festival scene, right? And again, I was interested in being a videographer and being around those kind of people, right? But it was moreover just for like for lack of a better word, for like homogenization, just being around it, creative stuff. Like, that's why I think the whole Art Basel thing with you is so awesome, is that you're just like, I don't know, that's why I sent you that thing in Dubai, or where it was at, like that huge thing people are driving by, and it's literally a fucking, 10-story rectangle. Cool. And it's like, but I saw that, or a version of that, when you were walking by the beach, and it was just some shit set up, and like, beautiful. It was just as big as this wall, and it was literally like right. And like, that's what's coming in the future. We're gonna see that Blade Runner shit where there's like some giant hologram hovering over you, being like, "Let me fuck you. Subscribe to OnlyFans." And you're gonna be, it's coming. It's cool to be involved and invested in that. And that's one thing that really fascinates me about you, is that you like, not only are like, are you into like the entrepreneurship, but like the veracity of like building a business and like being interested in like, I mean, for lack of a better term, being into capitalism and being like, okay, like I'm motivated by generating a profit and doing this. And then you're like getting into this whole other element of like, okay, well, let's be creative. Like why don't people like sex? I like it. You like it, right? Okay, well then why don't I like fruits and vegetables and things like that? Why don't I like rap and things like that?
Sometimes I think that business people. Sometimes there are business people that are good at business, but they suck at like the art form of it. And sometimes you need the art and marketing to carry the business. And sometimes there are people that are really good at art but suck at business. And you kind of need that to blow up. And sometimes I think like maybe I got a little bit of both figured out. And that's what's kind of like helped keep all this afloat, because I do like both. I like business, I like hustling, I like making money, and I also like art. I like the creative stuff. I like the journey of what makes art cool, unique, and special. And it all is something every artist, whether it's literal art or the fashion, or at a certain point you could call food concepts art, or music art, or movies. I like all that. And I think what people go through in life and their experiences create good art. And I'm a fan.
Yeah. I would say that a lot of times, like, your experience and your struggle reflects the art.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, everybody puts more of a degree into it than others. You know, some people put more of their likes or their fantasies into it. Some people put more of their, like, struggles and their hates into it. That's where the dark art comes from.
It's all a perspective of the artist's reality, you know?
Yeah, but I think we lean more into that, like, hustler.
I mean,
I like the yachts.
Yeah, I mean,
I like the Bugatti, like Andrew Tate talks about.
Yeah. Is he out of jail?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go in that. We're getting off the bougie stuff. So like, here we go. We're gonna go into this other stuff. We're gonna gravitate in this other level. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go pee.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna gravitate in this other angle. So here we're at.
Okay.
So we're at 41 minutes. We're gonna fix on that. We're just going to. You there?
Let's go.
So I'm gonna ask you seriously.
Yeah, ask me anything you want.
Do you think men and women can be friends?
Yes, I do.
Really?
I do, yeah.
How so? Platonically.
Now, you're probably asking the wrong person, because I take a very different approach to things. But
Is your little sex toys? Is your little like games? Is your little pawns to help build your business? I'm kidding.
no, but I mean,
that was a joke. Sorry. That's what we call below the belt.
I mean,
totally a joke.
look, like sometimes I am in a position of like being the boss, and like I have to be professional, and like I don't ever want anyone on my team or associated with us to feel uncomfortable. And so, yes, I am professional. Like I'm friend zoning you, and I might be hella attracted to you, but we're putting that to the side, and this is a business relationship, and that's what it is. And so, but that's just my take on it, because
that's a really good way to put it. I'm fucking with you. I was fucking with you at
what's
first. I'm sorry.
What's the opposite of that? Being like a creep?
No. I didn't mean it like that. Hell, I didn't even think about the opposite.
You gotta think about the opposite. You don't want things like that flying around.
Well, how do they have sex scenes in movies? How do they have actresses take their fucking clothes off in front of 20 people?
It's all a variation of industry.
Yes.
And in the industry I'm in,
they're not fucking,
it's a little more clean. I think the entertainment industry might be a little bit different. And
of course. Okay.
That's where I'm coming
but
at
the
from.
principle's the same. When you act professional, you be professional. Even if you're
True,
relating to prostitution,
True.
stripping,
True.
at nude
100%.
scenes in movies, or
Agree.
just being in a bikini in a Coca-Cola commercial, which is what I
100%.
like.
Yeah. 100%. I agree.
Don't give me that Lizzo stuff. Don't do that. I don't care about your promotions or your blackout seller, your CIA, you know.
And you know, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
I'm a chill dude. I am a little more relaxed, but like I would never want someone to feel uncomfortable on set or whatever you call it when there's a brand shoot or something. And yeah, I take it really professional.
I think I'm not clarifying where I'm giving you shit from. is that like you're so professional about it and you actually take care of it. It's like, yeah, like I'm giving you shit. Like it's actually a good thing. I don't know. And I don't think you're even like, okay, I'm sitting here saying something cheesy like sex sells, but it's more like,
I mean, there is some truth to that.
Sexy.
Depending on which demographic you're talking about, I think Gen Z is a little different than millennials.
I think
millennials sells sex sells and millennials and outward.
No, I think like that's way too of an abbreviated term. Sex sells, that's gross to me. Like that's pornography. Like actual sex sells. Sexiness sells.
Okay, you're right.
Sleekness sells. Well, I'm just saying, like when you're looking at a woman in like a bikini, or even in just like some lingerie to some degree, you know, you're not seeing her pussy. You're not seeing her get banged out. You know, there was a degree. Now people be like, okay, well, smut. Okay. But I'm saying that my dad used to say like, okay, Larry Flint is not.
Who is Larry Flint? I know he has a strip club line.
Well, okay.
But who is Larry Flint?
So Larry Flint started.
I went to a strip club in Vegas a few weeks ago.
What was that like? Hold on. So then explain that to me a little bit.
It was when we were in Vegas for.
It might not reflect the same values that it did back in the day. So back in the day, I would say 60s, 70s. I may get my reference wrong. I don't have someone to put it up. But like Hugh Hefner was like, okay, we're going to show women laying around. They're going to show their tits. Maybe the centerfold might show the edges of their pussy or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Larry Flint was like, fuck that. Full spread, butthole, like sticking shit.
Who was Larry Flint?
Well, he was like a Hugh Hefner. Larry Flint, what is the other one? Hustler.
Larry Flint's Hustler Club. That's what his brand is called, yeah.
So Larry Flint's Hustler, Hugh Hefner's Playboy. But he was like, he came after him and he was like, no. We're going to show the asshole.
Oh, so he had a magazine too.
Yeah, Hustler was a magazine.
Oh, Hustler magazine. I remember that. Okay. Oh, it's all making sense now. So I'm familiar with
but
Larry
he was
Flint's
like
Hustler's Club.
But like it's not the same thing as going to a Playboy club. I goddamn guarantee you, it's much
Playboy
more.
Playboy has strip clubs
in certain places of the world.
Where?
Ah, damn it.
It's okay. You don't have to do it. It's probably all the big cities. I get it. I've just never heard of it.
You need to look it up and put it in the clips afterwards, like showing me.
Strip clubs are a toxic place I try to stay away from because I'm going to spend too much money.
I just want to sit in the back and eat.
Oh my God. You want to know what happened? Okay.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So the BUJE team is in. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Oh.
This didn't happen with the BUJE team. I'm sorry. This was. My friend Alex was in town at the same time, and he brought his girlfriends. And so we all, I need a minute on that one. We all went out to dinner, and then after, he's like, I want to go to the strip club. And I'm like, okay, it's Spearmint, Rhino, or it's Larry's, right? We end up going to Larry's. So we get there, right? This is
like Larry Flint.
Yeah, Larry Flint has a strip club in Vegas, right? And so, long story short, we get there. And the entry fee is like $100, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, damn, that's kind of expensive. But they're like, oh yeah, it comes with 2 free drinks and a free lap dance, right? And so I'm like, okay, we all mutually agree as a group, let's do it. So we all go in, and then
what is it? What happened?
Okay.
You're shaking, motherfucker.
Nah, it's like I might have it on me. Hold on.
What is it?
I do have it on me. I don't know if it's my pride or what it is.
What is it?
But I couldn't come to terms with handing a stripper this and this is the free lap dance, like take it. And something about me just felt so cheap doing it, I couldn't do it.
I have a bunch of dollars to the strip club, and I've asked 3 people. I'm like, I have over $125 in strip club money, and I was like, this is not okay to give to a stripper.
It's not. Or it feels like it's not. Maybe it is.
So awesome.
Because like
you're so awesome.
I just like couldn't.
This is bullshit.
I couldn't do it. I don't know.
Hey, baby. Hey, it's 11:44 p.m.
Go ahead.
11:44. That's a magical number. Mustache right with that coupon right there.
It almost feels like the
In
equivalent
Vegas.
of taking a girl out to eat on like a first date and paying off a gift card. I just couldn't do it.
Well, you got to do that where you got to.
I mean, maybe some dudes are cool with it, but like my style, I just like.
So here's what you do. This, give that to me real quick, okay?
And then
Here's
I
what
felt
you
like
do.
the whole thing was a setup, and it was a big hustle.
Do you have your boy with you?
What?
You have your boy with you? Anybody with you? Would you go by yourself?
No, it was a group of us. It was like 2 girls.
Okay,
it was
here's what
me,
you-
my friend Alex, and his 2 girls.
Okay, here's what you do. You wasted this. Well, unless it expires, I'll take it with me when I go back. I'll go back whenever I go to Vegas and later this year. Okay, here's the thing. So you take this, you go to the bathroom. Here's what you do. It's a thing. I'm telling you this. Remember this. Okay, this is gonna be recorded, so you can take this as a clip. Okay, clip this. Okay, so what you do is you go to the bathroom when you're at the strip club, right? You're like, hey, that's what I do. I go, fuck this. I'm going to go, or, go do something else or drink something and get away from everybody. Then you go up to like one of the strippers. You're like, hey, you take this. Give him, whatever. Just give him half the time that this is worth, whatever. Hand it off to somebody. That's what you do. When you're trying to, go out to eat with somebody and you're going to like try and beat them to the check, you got to get up to go to the bathroom at some point. And then you just go and you take them your card and you go, no. I just want you to know, okay? And you're like, you got to watch the waiter going back and forth, just like you'd watch the stripper. You go over there and you're like, okay, this might be worth nothing, but whatever. Like you go over there and then you even tip her on top of that. Give her like $20. You're like, hey, over there, go and give him a hand job or a lap job or whatever. But I'm telling you, that's what you do with stuff like this.
All right.
It takes time, but I heard this on a podcast, man. I'm telling you the truth, man. Like, so the other day, I went out with a mutual friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
I won't mention her name on the podcast, right? She's a dancer, right? We've been talking, the one I talked to you about, okay?
Yeah.
Right? We're not going to get into great detail on that. But, like, we went to a restaurant the other day, and I went to the bathroom and tried to beat her to the check. I was like, a real G pays the whole check, like even for a friend. I'm trying to like really work that out as I'm going into this, right? Like that's just a thing. And I will tell you, Elias, the more I give, the more it seems like people give me more. It's like the more I'm receiving. Yeah, it's like almost like the law of attraction.
Right.
Okay. I go in the bathroom and I go to the bathroom and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom first, then pay, because the waitress was going back and forth. She's like the bartender and the waiter. We're at a restaurant at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So they're just opening up. So all the early people are there. Anyways, come out of the bathroom. She's already out there. She's like, oh, are we going to split it? I'm like, I was trying to pay for it. Oh, we'll split it. It's okay. Then she turns around. She had hit her head in the restroom. So she was like going back and forth between the table and whatever. And I was still trying to pay for it. But my point is I was just sitting there trying to make this strategic move to like get towards it and like pay for it, which ended up becoming a hassle. And by the end of it, it was like every time I went back and forth, she ended up coming back to the waitress and paying for half of it. So it was like a struggle. But
Damn.
most of the time I try to beat people to it.
Right.
Just like with something like that. Yeah, it looks cheap if you're like, can I have a lap dance? But if you were like, here's $40 on top of this, and like, hey, there's my buddy. You know what I mean? Why don't you go pour him a drink and, I don't know, take him to VIP or something. I don't know what it is in Vegas.
Yeah.
I was trying to look for the massage parlors in Vegas because my friend was saying like, that's where it's actually at. And I was like, you know what? That's something. He goes, what we're really going to look like? Fuck the Chinese massage parlors. We're going to look for the Russian bathhouse. I went, what? The Russian bathhouse? No.
I didn't know that was a thing.
What do you mean that's a thing? You're fucking around with the small time shit, the low G
Tell
shit.
me
I'm
about
trying to
this
find
Russian bathhouse.
Okay, well, hold on. We need to like revert back to like where the origin story of this came from. So a friend of mine told me about the
Sounds like a World War II thing.
so in China they have massage parlors. It's like a part of their culture. It's like
Is it?
Yeah, man. Like in Japan, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be corrected after the fact, but if I'm not mistaken, in Japan,
If it's cultural and it's what I'm thinking of, that's fascinating. Wow. Keep going.
yeah, it kind of changes it, huh?
Yeah,
Kind of changes your
interesting.
idea
Yeah,
of
yeah,
sex
yeah.
work, right?
Yeah.
You're like, well, we're not even talking about actual penetration. We're talking about a full body massage, and then they're jerking you off, and then they're
Right.
spitting your load into a thing, and then
Right.
you don't even kiss or anything, bro. Changes your whole
That's
concept.
fascinating. Yeah, keep going.
And so this is a thing in like China. A friend of mine was a missionary and went over and was seeing those kinds of things. And we're talking about like, $10 hand jobs, full body massage, all that kind of thing. And you're sitting there going like, well, that's kind of gross and whatever. And it's like, dude, that's like the least filthiest thing of everything. Like, you're not penetrating anybody. There's no fluid exchange. Nobody's sticking anything in their mouth. There's no kissing. Like, literally, like, you're sitting there and someone's working you out, right? And it's like, of course, it's like, it's not something that women do. Like, women are the workers and men are the ones that receive it, but it's like a cultural thing. You know, you got to think in their culture, I would almost imagine that they don't probably have issues with, rape and prostitution as much, because it is actually a sacred part of their culture. I don't know if I should call it that. It's just a woven part of their culture that, like, they have massage parlors everywhere. They're here in this town. I've actually learned to, like, look out for them, but I'm afraid to go to them because that's, like, I don't know anyone ever jerked me off for $100, things like that. But it's like, okay, yeah, but like a full body massage, then that, and you go into that's what massage parlors came from. So then you were talking about, like, okay, Russian bathhouse. We go to, like, I mean, when I was driving around in Vegas this last year, because we always go to Burning Man, right? We go to where there's, like, camping and you're living in the dirt and you're taking these little bullshit showers and you're just dressed in crap. And then we're like, okay, at the end of a week of doing that kind of bullshit partying, let's go to Vegas and actually, like, take a shower, dress in nice clothes, eat in a steakhouse. Let's go to a casino, which, again, I only like to play poker. I don't care about craps or anything like that takes a short amount of time. Blackjack, you know what I mean? I want to sit there and play cards for 2 hours, which is just like, I'll play it for $5 or $10. So I was like, okay, well, isn't there like one of these, like, massage parlors? Because everywhere I go, I see all these, like, billboards and there's, like, the hottest chicks. They're like, come on in. I'm like, man, I don't have $2,000 to go sit in a strip club and do all that. So where can I get, like, $300 full body massage and I can fuck up? Because, well, I mean, I went into a casino and hookers were hitting on me. And I was like, damn, that chick's hot. But I'm like, dude, I don't have $500,000. I'm trying to fuck. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, spank me off or whatever. I don't know. Like, I'm not into that. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say all that, but I'm just saying, like. So I was sitting there thinking about that, and then my buddy was like, dude, there's got to be a Russian bathhouse. So we never found it. We never looked for it. I didn't have the right. Sauna, men only, women
Russian
only.
Women giving men baths? Like what? Like,
kind of. I don't know. I've never been into all this section of stuff, dude. I don't know anything about it. Like, I mean, I went to one massage parlor once. I'm not into it. Like, to me, you should have a girlfriend or, you know what I mean? Like a fuck buddy, but, like, it shouldn't be. I mean, I'm not hating on sex work. I'm just saying that, like, it makes me uncomfortable. I don't have enough money for it. You should have the money for it, and you should be into it.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I mean, I have gone and gotten, like, a professional massage, but that makes me so uncomfortable because it's like I'm naked and someone's touching my whole body.
Yeah.
At the same time, you're like, well, why don't you just go ahead and spank me off at the end of it? I'm serious. What's the fucking difference? Because you're like, you're not fucking somebody, and there's no fluid exchange. You're not kissing. You're not, It's like, and in some parts of the world, it's culturally acceptable. So then, like I said, my buddy was like, nah. Like, I've already done all the massage parlors. I'm like, how many times do you think you've actually been to that in China and here? And he's like, I don't know, 100, 150 times. Like,
Oh, shit.
I was like, so what are you at? He's like, well, maybe there's a place where we could get, like, Swedish women instead of Chinese women. And, they like, massage us, and then we can go, and it's like a men-only club except for the women that are massaging you, and, like, it's like a Russian-style thing or a Yugoslavian or
Eastern.
I guarantee you, if you go down to you go to Miami, places like that, come on. You can't tell me that there's not something down there.
It's a Russian bathhouse?
Something.
I haven't seen
Whatever it is, there might be a Cuban bathhouse. There might be a fucking Cuban cocaine den or a bunch of fucking,
There might be.
fucking fresh 20-year-old Cuban whores,
I heard there are
down and
underground sex clubs in, like, New York.
to some degree. I mean, like, I don't want to do anything illegal. I want to do everything that's legal.
I guess
And to me, it's like, I don't want to go any place where there's anything shady or sex trafficking or anything like that. It's like, that's what I said.
I think it was so I read an article somewhere on, like, I forgot, New York Times, The Atlantic, some bullshit, and it was like what made it underground wasn't necessarily like the sex part. It was like the alcohol part.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, that's
have
like government
they didn't
shit.
have a
That's different. That's different. That's totally different. I'm just talking about fucking underage girls and people against their will.
Didn't read anything about that.
I'm just saying that, like, I'm not talking about anything like that. When I went to the place and it was literally they took me in a Uber, one of the only Ubers I've ever been to. We went down into a certain section of Las Vegas, and it was just like Asian place, barbecue joint, nail parlor, this and that, and then you just see a one spot in a whole like strip mall that was like open in the middle of the night, and it was a massage parlor. Yeah, and it was like, you got a massage. Then it was like, do you want to go further? You know, which, you know, I'm naked, my butthole's facing the ceiling, and I'm like, I don't like this. Yeah. Like, I even got up and went and closed the door. It's like, don't leave the fucking door open. I don't like this. I'm naked. This isn't cool.
Yeah. Does it feel comfortable?
I tried it once. I mean, you know, but I don't like the chick wearing a mask like I'm being under surgery. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a little awkward.
That's what I said. I'd rather like spend $500, $1,000, not go to the strip club, go get a full body massage. If they're not going to jerk me off, okay, but it's very sensual. They're touching me and everything, fine. Right. Then let me go hang out, and then like there's no women. It's just a bunch of men, and like they're not touching each other. There's no gay shit. It's like this is a men's bathhouse. That's why I said like Russian style. Right. And like even if there's nothing illegal, like there's no sex work going on, but in Vegas that's all legal. So to get a hand job. Fuck yes, there's the Bunny Ranch is in Vegas, motherfucker.
But it's outside of Vegas, not Vegas proper. But all the prostitutes inside the casino.
I understand that, but like to get
and it like has
well, what happened in the massage parlor was like all like just how it is with escorts. It's all just kind of understood.
Understood. Got it.
You're right. It's not. But
not like in those casinos, all those hookers, like that's illegal technically.
Right.
Okay. But you go out to like the little, I forgot what the.
No, you just agree because what's agreed upon. Okay, it
like
works.
It's not in Las Vegas County proper. It's the thing.
That is the Bunny Ranch, but I'm saying that like just in general, that whole like the sheriffs are not coming to your house when you're having a sex party. Right. If they do, and everyone's going, we're just all here on our own kind of accord. They leave. They can't. It's just not like that.
Sure.
Which I think is a good thing. But I also understand where Las Vegas is the modern representation of Sodom and Gomorrah. There's like underground tunnels of homeless people, and there ain't shit there's bad things that go on there. So you just got to deal with the good and the bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nice hotel rooms, which they're the nicest I've ever seen. And all of my friends can smoke inside, which I like because I'm I'm not an anti-smoker. I'm a non-smoker. I hate smoking. Of anything else, you know what I mean? Except for pot. I'd say, like, I don't like it. Even if you were smoking pot and blowing it in my face, I'd be angry. So I hate smoking. But, like, it's pretty cool that they can let people stand inside and smoke.
That's true.
And it's pretty cool. But, you know what I mean? I literally, like, walked outside of that place and went down the street, and there's people asleep on the street. It's just like it's not even like Austin, Texas. It's bad. It's like, oh, man, that dude's dying. Yeah. All right, get in the cab. See you later.
It's pretty bad.
So, So, I don't
know. You're gonna do a rapid fire thing.
About what?
9/11.
The what?
9/11.
9/11? Really? Was I fucking with you?
Took that break, you were going to ask me rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Do you remember that? Are you drunk?
I mean, I am a little bit, but I'm trying to remember, like, what I asked you about. I mean, the conspiracy stuff, I was fucking with you.
Yeah.
I was fucking with you.
Oh, you're fucking with I thought you were dead-ass serious.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Like machine gun fire.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. That was a joke. That was like your boy. You were
dead-ass serious.
Oh, no. I was just kidding. I'm sorry.
Oh. Wait, do you think 9/11 really happened?
Yeah, of course.
I think it really happened.
Yeah, and of course it did. I'm just mean.
There's some people that really think it didn't happen. The government really did it.
I mean,
right
do you
to
think
believe
that
it
that
happened.
like planes could, run into buildings and they just melt like that, or like what is it, Building 7, or what is it? I mean, again, I'm not here to debate that. That I was making a
I
joke.
guess.
That's why you said your boy needs to be on here, the one that disappeared. Part of your non-disclosed
Okay,
podcast.
Malaysia Airlines. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah,
What do you think happened?
where it fell in the ocean.
Do you think it fell in the ocean? Do you think aliens got it? Do you think it was a suicide mission?
Oh,
do
well,
you think?
I mean, dude, I think some things can break. They talk about those black boxes, right? The thing that's like bothers me about like 9/11 and things like that, where they like the government, or I'm just calling the government, the commission or whoever analyzed the whole situation. No, I'm serious. Like, it's not right to be like the government or George Bush. It's not cool to be like that. But I mean, like, whenever whoever it was, the commission analyzed that whole thing. They found a fucking passport that they're like, a plane ran into this building. Motherfucker had a passport in his pocket and it fell down from all that, right? But they couldn't find the black boxes, which are like fireproof, which have flight recordings. And I think
ignorant on my part, but they never found the black boxes from 9/11.
if I'm not mistaken, no, they did not find any of them.
That's crazy.
Not from the Pentagon, not from anything. Now, again, I mean, like they're saying, they found Hani Hanjour's fucking. There's like,
I'm sorry, who is Honey Hunter?
He is the guy that supposedly ran the plane to the Pentagon. I'm not denying this.
Okay, what about Honey Hunter?
Well, Hani Hanjour, okay, maybe I've got this mixed up. I'm sorry. I know that Hani Hunter. Well, yeah, but like, okay. Let's just stick with the Pentagon. Fuck the whole thing. I know they found somebody's passport. Again, we're gonna have to like cross-reference. I don't have a Jamie or somebody right now, but I know that like, whenever the planes hit the towers,
right?
They said that they like whoever the commission was that analyzed it or whatever. They found a passport from one of the hijackers.
Okay.
At the bottom of the towers.
So it made it through that whole burn.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a passport of who?
One of the hijackers.
Oh, okay.
The hijackers.
So one of the dudes who flew into the towers, their passport was found in the rubble.
Yeah. But the black box was never found from either one of the planes. Again, you might want to.
That's kind of shady.
Okay. But the most shady thing to me is Hani Hanjour, like that he like.
Hani is Pentagon guy.
Yes. So you got Pentagon, got this. He like flies up and then like, which is an impossible move when they tried to recreate it in an aircraft simulator where like it flies back around. So he made like an impossible turn back down and then like ran through all these things and then like hit the Pentagon, which again, when they
No, that really happened though. Because my aunt used to work at the Pentagon. And she said that shit really happened. There's no way that could be fake. My aunt legit used to work at the Pentagon.
Sure.
I have her somewhere on my iCloud, like saying that.
Sure. I know.
My family works in government.
That's even better. They know what they're doing.
I think that shit really happened. And like, I believe it. And I remember around that time, because I used to live in Georgia around that time, like we went to visit
I'm
them.
not saying that didn't happen. Hold on. Let me roll that back. I'm not saying that didn't happen.
Who did it? You're right.
No. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. No. Man, you know what? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard for me to sit here and be like, the government did it. That's so fucked up to say.
God, that would break my heart.
You know? Yeah, but...
Like, I don't want to believe our own
Yeah, but that's like, that's... Like I'm saying, like even if they're lying to us, they're lying.
They're probably lying about something.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
like,
is like...
Let's believe somebody else did it. And not like
here's my
America did it to its own people.
Listen, I'm extremely patriotic. I'm not going to say I know that there are people out there every day that like fight for us. But I also know that there are sinister people that pretend to be the good guys. And like, again, maybe it's not our place to know everything about that day. Like, I'm not a person to be like that. But just like with JFK, right? That guy didn't get shot by one dude. That guy didn't get shot from behind. That guy got shot in the front, and the way he bounces back. 9/11, like, it's really hard to say that they like ran all those planes in those buildings without help. They ran all those planes and that, or like they, what is the? But I'm not an expert on all those things. But they say like, was it controlled demolition? Was it this and that? And again, I'm not saying it's our government. It's just really weird. And then, like you said, they found the passport, but they didn't find any of the black boxes.
That's pretty weird.
Right? When they look at the holes in the Pentagon, it's like it looks more like a missile or a thing. It's not for us to know necessarily. Like if I was like a I don't know, a general or something, it's like, why should we tell the public whether it was a missile or a plane?
You're right.
Right. But I'm saying that like that's just really weird. And then I think the only thing that really makes that all weird is the whole oil thing.
What oil thing?
Well, that we went to, so what is it? 9/11 happened, if I'm not mistaken.
We went to war for like 20 years.
Yeah. And then
So
we never really, I mean, did we ever end it? Or did we end the war on terrorism? Well, that's what I'm saying to you, man. It's like there was the Patriot Act and they started tapping everyone's phones and the internet.
We haven't had an attack on U.S. soil since then, right? From a foreign outside place.
Well, now it's domestic. So like the Boston bombing,
yeah,
things like that. Yeah. And so it's like, but those guys were.
But it's just a matter of time until it happens again. And that's human nature, whether it's China,
Maybe.
Russia,
I think so. Yeah, true.
That's just bound to happen.
You know what? I don't even know. I mean, now that you're saying
so
all that.
Besides 9/11, before that, like going back in time, it's Pearl Harbor, where it's a domestic attack on U.S. soil.
What is it? Timothy McVeigh, the
But
Oklahoma City.
domestic.
Oh, you said
I'm talking
foreign?
about foreign.
Oh, what is that called? The First World Trade Center.
Oh,
What?
the bombing in the parking lot?
Well, it was but it was in the bottom of the World Trade
Right,
Center.
right,
The first
right,
ones.
right.
Before that,
And
yes,
Before that, would it be Pearl Harbor?
yes. As far as
That's
I
a
remember.
good stretch. If you look at 1945 to like what 1982 was it?
1991.
That's
I
a good
think.
run. That's a good
Like
run.
before, it's like
That's a good
people
run.
really, yeah.
That's a good run.
As far as I can remember, like mass, I could be wrong.
So looking at like 41 to 90, that's like 40, 50
Or
years.
45.
45 years.
Or what'd you say? I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
Pearl Harbor.
Oh,
was like
Pearl Harbor, yeah.
1945, right? Or 44. Just round up 45.
December 7th,
And then
1941. I think that's what started the war.
that's like 45 years, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So should we expect a foreign attack on U.S. soil in another 40 years from 9/11? So we have another 20 years to go?
I don't know. I'd hope not.
Yeah, I hope not either, but I'm a strong believer and I think history tends to repeat itself, and so eventually it's going to happen.
I'm akin to more thinking.
But I also do think the U.S. is like geographically positioned where like we have the upper hand, like opposed to like every other country, because geographically we're just like great. Like we couldn't have a better country because we have the oceans to like protect us, and then we have our like fucking amazing Air Force technology and radars and shit that if a missile is coming towards us, we'll pick it up on sonar, and then they send like those little air jets and they bomb it before it even hits ground.
But then it's like, look what happened on 9/11.
Do you think aliens really exist? What's your opinion on aliens? Or foreign life?
They might be real.
What do
Seem
you
like
think?
they're real. I don't know. I've never seen them.
Do you think there's another planet out there somewhere in our fucking vast universe that is either way ahead of us or way below us?
Seems, more than likely.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I constantly wonder if we all been here before.
What do you mean? Like reincarnation, different lives?
It's hard to describe. Reincarnation. And then, like, it seems like any time I've ever kind of had any kind of psychedelic experience, it's like we're existing on parallel dimensions all at the same time. And then as you move through reality, they become more or less likely. And then, like, when you die, you're, like, almost recycled back into everything. And then it all, like, gets turned back over again. Kind of like whenever you play a game of poker and then, like, the hand ends and they swipe the whole thing and do the deck, and then everyone, plays again.
Yeah.
So
Life is wild.
I mean, it's, after seeing so many things go down, I mean, I've just sat here and gone back and forth about it and really come to the conclusion that it's kind of like what you take with you. or what you make of it. And I know that sounds vague, right? But I'm saying that, like, if you sit there, right, and you get, like, happiness, sadness, happiness, sadness, happiness, sadness. You get all these different, like, things, right? Like, and then you sit there and you're like, well, I make happiness of it. Like, you know, even if you're naive or you didn't really get the point, it seems like you're enjoying more out of life, right? And again, I'm not saying that ignorance is bliss. I'm just saying that, like, if you're at least trying to find something, trying to find some meaning, trying to work towards something like what you're talking about, then you're doing better than just than just giving up and not wanting to do anything. You know, experienced a lot of heartbreak in the last few years, and I've seen a lot of crazy shit. I think about that 9/11 shit. I think about, like, is there a Luciferian Zionist government controlling everything, where they're sitting there with the fucking TVs and the microwaves and they're fucking our brains up? And like, dude, I think it's more than likely. Yes. Do I think it's possible?
You think we're all being controlled?
Say it again?
You think we're all being controlled?
I almost wonder if we're bending the Matrix. If, like, just literally me sitting here saying no.
What is the Matrix?
The Matrix is
Tell me what the Matrix is.
Entrapment.
By our culture and our government?
Yes, everything.
Okay.
Just okay. Just give you an example. A friend of mine's a hunting guide. 40,000 acres plus. Okay. They, like us white dudes, almost religiously study the Native American culture, right? You'll never hear them sit there and be like, yeah, well, you know, the white man's at fault or whatever. But then they'll also sit there and be like, yeah, man, they were the best people that lived ever. They knew how to live smarter than the white man. They lived off the land. They used all the rocks. I mean, it was incredible how the ancient people lived. That's what I call them, ancient people, not the natives, but it's just ancient people, because it encompasses everyone that, like, pre-lives us, that, like, didn't have gunpowder and all this different stuff. Like, they literally, and the point is that I'm sorry, what were we just talking about? I just got a little bit off.
Yeah, no, we were talking about
I was going somewhere.
You're talking about how the ancient people lived better than, or Native Americans lived better than we do now, and how they really focused off the land and made the best of, like.
But before that, I know I said all that, but I'm saying, how is that referring to what we were just talking about? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get too, like, faded. There was something I was referring to, rolling back to that.
You were referring to,
well, how they studied people, and how, like, my buddy,
about how the white man studied the ancient people better than somebody else. That's what you said.
Yeah, but I was just trying to remember how that referred to how people lived and, like, the way they looked at things. And it just...
I don't remember that part. I just remember what I said.
Sorry, I did not mean to fall at the ball. That's bad of me. What were we just talking about?
Before that, we were talking about 9/11, and that evolved into... that evolved into... damn, it's going tequila.
That's so good. We totally dropped the ball. I wish we had a chat where we could see people saying that. Yeah. Damn, dude. I was really trying to sit there and think about how, like, the people... Yeah, why was he sitting there talking to me about ancient peoples and them sitting there doing the arrowhead digging? And how they didn't have the same kind of meaning. Lost it, dude.
You were talking about how the Native Americans make the best of their land and the rocks and the resources,
but
and they live better than how, like, modern day people do now. We have a lot of junk that we're consumed in, and they had the simple life and they made the best of it.
That had to...
Anyways, what else?
Is that still going? Okay. So, any closing remarks?
Well, I think I was originally asking you if you think aliens exist outward, and you said yes.
I've never seen them. How do you model this? So, yeah, why don't you tell me more about this? And get off the aliens, okay? Let's get off the 9/11. Let's get off the hunters and the rocks and all this shit.
What?
Yeah, this.
What's your question?
Like, how did you come to bottle all this? And work on all this?
I mean, a bottling process is, I mean, there are multiple ways you can do it. So, like, we have a commercial kitchen. We make everything there. And then we send it to, like, this company called Universal Pure. It's an HPP processor.
Okay.
They give us shelf life because if we don't have HPP processing, these are going to go bad in 15 days. And if you own a bodega or grocery store, you don't want to stock something that's going to go bad in 15 days. So this takes our shelf life to like 85 days. And so that makes it a little bit better. And so...
Citric acid added?
Yo, it's this weird scientific, beyond my fucking bracket of...
You selling
They
those
apply
chemicals? What
pressure
the fuck
to
is
it.
this?
They apply pressure to it, and it kills all the bad nutrients and keeps all the good bacteria.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like how you like pressure cook stuff and you can stuff, right? No, I get it.
Yeah,
It's made with love in Austin.
yeah.
All right, I'm keeping this. No. I like that, made with love in Austin. Well, that's what the kombucha says. Look what it says in the bottom. You ripped off the label.
Oh, look at that. That's tight.
Yeah, you think it's cute? Rip off our label. You live in San Antonio. Whore. Dude, I really like your brand.
Thanks.
What did you want to tell me more about it? If I can't ask the right questions, then what is it about it?
What is it? What?
About the thing.
What do you mean?
The bougie.
What about it?
I mean, what makes it bougie?
The quality that goes into it.
You know,
It has nothing to do with the lifestyle. At the end of the day, it's everything that goes into it. That's how I look at it. That's what it is.
I like this.
That's how it's for everyone. You don't have to live a bougie lifestyle to drink bougie. It's what goes into this that makes it different.
Well, my dad would say, what am I going to pay for an $8 lemonade? It's $12 at a festival? Fuck that little brown motherfucker. No.
Hey, they're taking 35%, so I got to do what I got to do.
35%? Fuck that festival. What are the tickets? They're $500, Dad. What? For 2 days? Fuck that thing.
You want to know something fucking wild?
What?
In the VIP section of the festival, they had little cabanas that were selling for $17,000 a fucking cabana. Now, you can bring 10 of your friends, but 17 grand? That's fucking wild.
Now I remember what I was going to say. Now I can connect this whole thing and bridge the whole gap. Here's what my buddy said. When we were sitting out there we were digging for arrowheads. He's a hunting guide. He goes out. He does all these different things. We were sitting there looking at it, and we were talking about superstition of things, right? And you were asking me about aliens, right? So here's one thing they told me. Now I know where I was going in that long, drawn-out ass story. He was telling me, I asked him, I was like, man, see all these ancient peoples and what they believed in and stuff like that.
Malaysia. Sorry, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, I don't know about the flight and all that.
I'm listening. Keep going.
And I said, like, what do you think about all that stuff? And he's like, dude, half of their superstitions, I think, were based off of them convincing other people they were real. And that was actually the power they had over other people, was convincing them.
Aliens?
Anything. I think that's what I was relating it to. Was that back in the day, tribes of stronger, natives, if you will, would like convince other tribes that things were real. Superstitions, customs, whatnot. I've never seen aliens. I don't know if they're real. I can't tell you they're real, right? I've never seen a UFO. I've never seen like that. Okay? I fuck with you. I fuck with people. I really like, we live on flat earth. Is this real? When you walk out of here, is this reality? I mean, that's like, the Matrix is pretty scary as far as being like, for real, dude. Like, are there really I've seen some pretty convincing video of stuff, but it's like, is that fake video? And you're like, oh, everything can be fake. And then
Everything can be fake.
I've seen some crazy shit happen in front of my own eyes. I'm trying to remember a couple of things like, you drop something or somebody picks up something and you're like, how the fuck did you do that? Or whatever, just accidents and things like that. again, I'm trying to be more specific with my references, but not more than a handful of times, enough for you to think that, like, you put your mind to something, it could happen. I'm not saying you can, like, make your mind lift a car out of a swamp.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that sometimes it might be like Pulp Fiction. Someone pulls out a gun, and it's happened, and people shoot guns at each other, and they miss. It's like, dude, you were firing a gun at that person, and it missed every shot. You know, and it's like kind of unbelievable. Or I've seen videos. Okay, I'll tell you the truth. I've seen videos of, like, traffic cams where people smash into like, I know I've seen one for sure, where a dude smashes into another vehicle, rolls out of the dashboard, and is, like, completely unharmed. I've actually seen a couple of videos of that, and
that's
like,
wild and super lucky and
like,
like
okay,
weird God moment,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you're like, no, that's just not real.
Yeah.
Right? Like, America's Most Wanted, I've seen trucks rip over, and, like, the guy walks out, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
That's wild.
But, so you're saying aliens, UFOs. And that's why I was referring it back to whenever I was digging up arrowheads this last summer. I actually went on Arrowhead Day. You pay $250 a person.
Really?
I'm serious. They take an excavator on a private piece of land. They dig up old ancient pieces of things, and they just dump it over this table, and you're looking at it. And I'm just, like, talking with people. I'm like, what? You know, was there a Bigfoot? Are there ancient skinwalkers? Were there things? And he's like, dude, I mean, you know, one of my buddies was like, he kept fucking with me. The squaw, the wife. He'd go, I don't fucking know. The squaw did it.
Yeah.
You know, and then you go, I don't know, dude. Like, maybe, like, the whole magic of this tribe was just they told other people that they had a god that came and fucked you in the ass when you fucked them wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do us wrong, the god of the thunder is going to come and fuck you. Like, it's like, yeah, that was really the magic. It wasn't that it actually came and did it. It's the fact that they believed it anytime. You know, you kind of get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So, dude, I haven't personally seen it, but I'm saying the magic can be real if you're convinced to it to some degree, right? That's why I think we need to stick to things like less esoteric, like more like dreams, entrepreneurship, money making. And then anyways, I mean, you're serving a better product.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a locksmith. All I'm trying to do is keep people safe. I really am. It's not some bullshit. I'm not trying to sell them some fake thing. I'm trying to fix their doors and do that. You're trying to sell them, like, good drinks. Trying to aspire to that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a good way to put it.
Well, it's just how you use your magic.
Right.
We not all have it to some degree.
That's true.
I mean, it's not the name and the point of your brand. Well, but that's what that is. Like, what does by definition that mean? Higher class, right?
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like, we use it, like, we actually overuse it, as in bougie by slang means, like, you're being too much. Extra. Yeah. But that's not actually what it means, right?
Right.
Bougie is actually this. Like, here, I have a glass. Has it right? Oh, that's bougie, right? Classy is actually what it means, right? By definition. Isn't it French?
Yeah.
Classé. So that's the note we're going to end on. So we get to business, right? We get our last segment. Can you see with your own eyes what's up on that timer up there?
1:28.
There we go. So we did 1:30. There we go. Here, you and me, bye-bye. It's like I said, so it's what we use the magic for. That's why I brought up that whole thing. Well, it's because that's what he told me. He goes, dude, I don't think the natives had any magic. This is what some white guy told me. He was like working on a ranch. He's like, I just think they convinced other tribes to believe in it. And so they fooled them. I was like, that's branding. That's advertisement. That's propaganda. Is it not, Elias? I'm not saying that. I mean, good or bad, right?
Okay. So this what you just said is spinning off into a thought that I'm having right now.
Yes.
The past 2 days, I have spent an ungodly amount of time watching killer whale orca like documentaries, and those whales are like insanely smart. Have you heard of the orcas that are like tipping over boats off like the coast of Spain?
So Jaws is based off of. It's not. It's actually based off a shark. It's based off an orca fucking knocking a ship over, and they're sitting there shooting it with guns and shit. Oh yeah. It's Moby Dick.
Okay.
Yes, it's a like, dude, it's an actual story. Like,
so these are like incredibly smart whales, or
they fought. That's what Jaws and Moby Dick are based off of.
What makes them so smart?
What makes them so smart? It's like they just are. They just are. It's us coming up against nature. It's like, we're not the smartest thing, or we're not the best thing.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why Jaws is so fucking scary, is because they're fighting a great white, which is close enough. But I mean, like, Moby Dick is the better version of it, or the older version where they're fighting an orca, I believe, or it's a great white.
No, it's got to be an orca.
Something, or maybe it's a sperm whale. It doesn't matter. It's all
Sperm
about
whales don't attack people.
it's about dudes getting in a ship, going out to the sea, trying to get some sort of resource, and this fucking thing coming up and just destroying them.
Right.
It's real. It's
Right.
not bullshit.
Right.
Like, now we got giant ships now, but do you imagine going in a wooden ship out there and that thing beating the fuck? Yes, it's real, dude. You see those pictures of people kayaking?
Yeah.
Damn. What is that? Great white? Like,
Yeah.
fuck you. Dun, 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 dun. Shoot, shoot. And then just and then it just goes, get down.
Yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, the ocean's scary as fuck if you think about it.
Fuck off with that, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like they didn't. It's debatable. It's like if you really sail around this earth, you're like, is there really an earth? Is there really a round earth? Am I just?
You think it's flat?
No.
It's gotta be round.
Because I've gone up in a plane and looked, and it goes over the horizon, but I'm
right.
But I'm saying, like, if there's some giant thing beyond my comprehension that I wouldn't know. I'm not denying it. I'm saying that as far as I know, that's real. When they show those videos of everything going over the earth, but I don't fucking know. If there's UFOs and interdimensions and the Matrix.
Like YouTube kids who have like put little balloons up in the sky on a GoPro and like they got that shit back and it looks round as fuck.
Yeah.
And the editing, as being like a video editor, like it looks real.
What does he say?
And yeah, it could have been edited. Like you can fake anything these days, but like, I'd buy it. I'm just saying, I'd buy it. I'd buy. We live in a round Earth. I bet there's a lot of fake information out there, but I don't know. Because it's easy to fake shit these days.
Shit. I'm going to tell you this. 80s and a fake authenticity.
The what?
Authenticity.
80s?
Oh, like us.
You're 80s, baby?
80s?
You're 91?
No, 89.
What month?
December.
You're a Capricorn.
Nope. Sagittarius. The person with the bow. All right. Are we done?
Bet. Good run. I gotta piss.